You're obsessed with buying things because you're miserable and trying to self-soothe. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Constantly seeing this type of consumer behavior online, and then it suddenly starts to feel normal. But
oh my god! First things first, this is only $1,100 billion worth of product.
They used to make shit that would last forever on purpose. Now they make shit that's gonna break within a year on purpose. Goodbye.
We're actually subscribed to buying clothes from Shein. We're subscribed to buying iPhones. We're subscribed because every year we have to renew our subscription. Think about it.
I just found out today that people go to rehab because they have a shopping addiction. Like, legit, go to rehab, check themselves in, live there for 30 days, all because they're addicted to shopping.
It has never been easier to look rich, but it has never been harder to be rich. I think people are starting to feel and see consumerism's lack of promise being fulfilled right now.
Gen Z has a shopping addiction and it's not cute. And I think this can be attributed to a few factors, like the ease of shopping and the fact that we're constantly being marketed to. So in this video, I want us to take a deep dive into Gen Z in general and overconsumption and talk about how serious it can get and how it's really affecting this generation. And to be honest, even the older generations. If you're interested in having a productive conversation about social media culture and life in general, then you're in the right place. My name is Bobina. Welcome or welcome back. I'm happy that you're here, and let's get into the video and just have a conversation about overconsumption. I think if we're having a conversation about overconsumption, we need to understand that it's not a surface level conversation. It's much more deeper than that. It goes to our emotions and how we are coping with life and the world around us. And I think if you see someone with a shopping addiction, that's something to consider, because majority of the times when we are buying things and spending money on a lot of stuff, it's usually because we're trying to cope or we're trying to soothe ourselves in a way. So I think that's one thing that we have to really pay attention to.
You're obsessed with buying things because you're miserable and trying to self-soothe. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me explain. When you wake up in the morning and can take the time to notice the beauty of the flowers on your nightstand or appreciate the color scheme in your room, it signals safety. From an evolutionary behavioral standpoint, we only have the time to almost stop and smell the roses, or acknowledging and enjoying the beauty around you. We're not actively worried about food, safety, shelter, potential predators putting us into fight or flight. We only have time to customize our life with material when we generally have achieved a safe quality of life. So when we buy things or consume, it tells our monkey brains that we're safe or happy, and it makes us feel good. Temporarily. But when we see this level of consumption of people buying aesthetic items non-stop all the time, it starts to feel like compensation. Why are we so desperate to live the fantasy that the items we buy represent? Why are we obsessed with aesthetically customizing every aspect of our lives? I believe it's a method of self-soothing. We've hit such a radical point of overconsumption that we're beginning to use it as a band-aid to cover up a bullet hole. We try to fill our hole of dissatisfaction and anxiety with the temporary feeling of safety an aesthetic environment brings us. But at its core, there's still something missing. By constantly buying things, we're trying to use our evolutionary biology to fix a problem caused by modern society. And while it acts as a crutch, it ultimately leads to our issues getting worse as we continue to shop on Amazon for distraction. Think before you consume. Do you need it or do you need help?
That's very spot on. She explained it very well. And I think a lot of the times when we see people buying stuff like, I don't know, stationery or clothes or whatever, we often judge and can be harsh sometimes. But I think it's very important to recognize that sometimes people do this out of trying to find comfort and trying to feel better. And it's really important to just build awareness. I think the most important thing that you can ever do for yourself is to be aware of the actions that you take, because awareness is the first step when it comes to solving a problem. And I think especially when it comes to overconsumption, we're constantly buying things thinking that they'll make us happier, or even chasing certain things thinking that when we get to that place, we're going to be happy, when in actuality, happiness starts with where you are and acceptance. And when you get to that point, or that when you have those things, you then realize that they actually don't bring you happiness. It's usually the pursuit of the thing that brings you happiness. Building awareness is very important. And I think that's why we need to continue having this conversation about overconsumption, because we're in a world where, or in a place where we're constantly being marketed to, and you just have to be very careful.
I'm gonna piss some people off in a sec, but here goes. Fast fashion, overconsumption, and influencer culture has helped normalize some pretty messed up behavior. Doing new clothing hauls every week and every month is not normal. It's also not normal to buy luxury goods and act like you're just buying groceries. It's also not normal to constantly be off on holidays or retreats. It's not normal to own storefronts worth of beauty and makeup products. We're constantly seeing this type of consumer consumer behavior online, and then it suddenly starts to feel normal. But not only is this super unrealistic for people, it's also super unsustainable. Also, it's not a
I think this is a very important point as well, because the more that you see something, the more normal it becomes. For example, okay, now I'll give that example. Hygiene wasn't a thing in the past. Like, it wasn't really that serious. Like, germs were not really a thing. But the more that we've gotten to learn about it, the more we've spoken about it, the more we've come to normalize washing our hands with soap and being aware of germs and cross-contamination and all of these things. If you talk about something or you see something repeatedly, the more it becomes normal. And social media has also done that. It has normalized a lot of things that are actually not very good. For example, overconsumption. We are constantly seeing people buying stuff. We're constantly seeing people traveling around the world. You find yourself trying to keep up with what everyone else is doing. You find yourself trying to buy stuff that you don't need.
human right to be able to afford cheap and trendy clothing. In fact, people have been on budgets long before Shein existed. Shein is not that old. Borrowed, swapped, got secondhand clothes, got clothes from older kids, and whenever we got a piece of clothes from an actual store, it was something special. Now I sound ancient. I'm just tired of seeing both regular people as well as influencers defend this type of consumer behavior like it's their right. Like their trendy outfit is worth more than the waste and exploitation it cost. Buy less crap and start
That's very true, because I was seeing a video, I don't remember where I saw that video, where someone was talking about how the average shopper on Shein makes about $64,000 a year and spends about $1,200 to $500 per year on clothes. And then you think about if they bought maybe 2 or 3 pieces of clothes that year, because if we're being honest, they already have a lot of clothes at home. If they bought maybe 2 or 3 or 4 pieces of clothes, good quality clothes, using that money, then in the next maybe 2 to 3 years, they would have a wardrobe that they could wear literally for decades. It's become very normal. It's just so easy to do. Like, you can literally go on your phone, press a couple of buttons, and buy stuff. Like, buy thousands and thousands of stuff. Whereas in the past, you physically had to go somewhere and make time out of your day to go out and buy stuff, which added that extra friction. And the fact that Amazon will bring your clothes or whatever you buy directly to your door and you don't even have to move a muscle. What do you expect to happen in a world like that? Do you expect people to be thoughtful when buying, when everything is so easy? No. Friction is what usually causes us to rethink our decisions or postpone stuff. But if there is no friction, it becomes so easy to do.
following the creators that romanticize overconsumption. Trust me, you will be so much better off.
You need to understand that a lot of people that post on social media are businesses as well. So personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with like supporting maybe a small business owner who makes candles or who sells, like, that's a good thing. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you found an artist or a designer or someone who makes products online and sells them and has a business, like, support them. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think there's a difference when it comes to buying from Shein. So you just have to be very mindful how you're spending your money, where you're spending your money. You know, if you're spending your money buying from a small artist, at least in that like regard, you would be very mindful, because one, you're supporting someone directly and you know that person and they're probably not exploiting people and like being wasteful or whatever majority of the times. Obviously, sometimes people do that. But then if you're shopping from Shein, obviously, you know, there are children who are being exploited. There is environmental factors and so many horrible things that that company is doing. And you just have to be very mindful, very careful of how you consume stuff and realize that you do have an impact on the environment and life in general. And also, you can improve your quality of life if you just take a moment to realize that material things will not bring you joy. I think it's very important to realize that it's not really the material things that bring you joy, but the mental clarity or the ease that you have when you know that you have money and that if you had an emergency, you would be able to sort it out. If you needed something, you'd be able to sort it out. I think having that money and knowing, oh, it's there is where peace really comes from. It's not really coming from buying stacks and stacks of stuff. Like, I don't think it's coming from that. So just be mindful, be careful, and really ask yourself why you feel the way that you feel, why you do the things that you do. because I think that's very important.
Things that are completely normal that social media has told you they aren't. It's completely normal to use the same cell phone for years, re-wearing the same clothes all the time, using up every last bit of product before you purchase a new one. Kind of going in with the theme of makeup, your makeup has not expired, it's totally safe to use it until it's empty. Not purchasing new hair care products all the time. It's totally normal to use up the hair care products that you have before purchasing new ones. Not going on multiple vacations every year. It's totally normal if you're not taking multiple vacations every year, or even if you're not taking a vacation every year. Not buying a new water bottle every time there's a new trendy one that came out. It's totally normal to use the same water bottle you've had for years, as long as you regularly clean it. Not changing the aesthetic of your home every time a new decor trend comes out. It's totally normal to keep the same home decor for many, many years. It's totally normal if you're someone who does not get beauty treatments every single month. Not buying new purses or jewelry all the time. It's totally normal to re-wear the same jewelry for years and years and to use the same bags too. Owning one perfume and
Yeah, that's why you need to buy quality. It's better you have a few quality things than a lot of things that are not good quality. Because if you're going to wear the same jewelry for years, you need to buy at least jewelry that has that can last a long period of time than buying very cheap jewelry that starts turning green in I don't know, the first time you wear it. So you just have to be very mindful and think long term whenever you're making a purchase and realize that someone is just trying to make money off of you. So you need to be careful. That money that you have, you worked hard for it. So you better respect it.
using that until it runs out before you purchase a new one. Not everyone owns a bunch of different perfumes and switches them out all the time. Social media has made it hard to remember what is normal and what isn't in terms of consumption.
Here are some things that we have normalized online and overconsume without question. Number one is excessive vacation prep. You don't need to get a lash lift, a brow lift, a tanning session right before your vacation. The pressure to do all of these things and spend an excessive amount of money right before your vacation kind of defeats the purpose of taking a break. So I would skip all the stress and just save your money. And that leads me to my next point, which is how we've normalized.
I think majority of the times we're just following trends, and it's really trendy to look rich, you know, to cosplay being rich, to pretend to be rich. And I really think that if you're going on vacation, like obviously you want to feel good, you want to look your best, but it's really important to realize like why you're going on that vacation, and to also realize your budget, and to also realize that if you cannot afford to do something, then don't do it. Because I have seen so many stories.
Excessive vacation hauls. There's a growing trend online glamorizing vacation hauls, including luxury hauls from Europe or hauls from Japan filled with suitcases of trinkets or skincare. Really be honest with yourself. Do you really need to consume all of these things while you're on vacation? Buying all of these things just because it is cheaper there doesn't always equate to being a great reason. So just enjoy your vacation, and I would much rather indulge in the food, the culture, and the history. The next thing that we have normalized online and overconsume are excessive.
That's very true. If you're buying clothes because they're cheap, or you're buying stuff because it's cheap, like that doesn't mean that you need that stuff. So you just have to be careful and really like think about, if you're going on vacation and you're going to a specific place, maybe that place is known for something. Like I totally get you wanting to buy, maybe they have the best chocolate, or I don't know, they have the best skincare or something. Like, yes, be like, okay, I know what I need. I need a cleanser, and I need this, and I also need this, and I also need that. Okay, good. But just don't go all out and just like buy stuff so you can come on social media and show everyone that you bought stuff. Because if we're truly being honest, a lot of these overconsumers and people that are shopping excessively are usually people that come on social media to show off the stuff that they bought, because it's their job, which is very irresponsible, to be honest. Very irresponsible.
Massive Costco hauls. You don't need to be going to Costco every single week to be checking out what's new or what's on sale. A lot of videos are hyping the latest Costco finds online. While it might seem harmless, it actually creates a culture and mindset of impulse buying. Ironically, I find that many people don't actually save money when they go to Costco because they end up walking out with a cart full of things they never planned to purchase in the first place. So these are some things I've noticed that we've normalized online and overconsume without question. The more and more we're fed this type of content, the more we normalize it in our heads. So my goal is to help you be more intentional and conscious on what we consume on a day-to-day basis.
That's true. And I don't know if you guys remember that girl who went viral for stealing, I think if that was from Target or something, that influencer girl who stole like stuff. Like you get to the point where you start doing stuff like that. Like that is so embarrassing, all because you want to go on social media and show off that you bought all this stuff. Like, how low are we going to go as people just to show off on social media when everyone knows that what you see on social media isn't real? Like, we're constantly trying to sell a lifestyle and pretend that our lives are 10 times as better than they look. Like,
I saw this on Facebook and it says my shower room. Oh my god. First things first, this is only $1,100 billion worth of product. But like, this doesn't overstimulate you? What is your...
And you know the funny thing, when people who post videos like of like stocking stuff like this and like maybe stocking their pantries or something like that, when people criticize them, they always say, oh, I'm receiving a lot of hate online, but I wanted to make my home like my peaceful place. And you're like, girl, what is peaceful about this? Like, I wanted to make my home a peaceful place where I get to be happy and all this. And I'm like, you don't need all that to be happy. Like, genuinely, you don't need all that, because these are perishable products. They will expire and you'll be like, can't use this. So this is just sad.
pH balance. This many chemicals on your body could not be healthy. Not only that, but like, when I'm in a shower that has a shower curtain and the plastic liner sticks to me while I'm showering, it makes me want to peel my skin off. I can only imagine turning around and hitting my elbow or my butt cheek on any one of these shelves. Put me into a grave. How do you deal with this? How does this not bother you? How do you choose which one is which? This is so...
And then you find that there's probably like one product that they probably use all the time. Like the other products, and there are products in here that probably never been touched and will never be touched.
This is overconsumption at its finest. Not to mention, these products have expiration dates on them, and you're not using all of these products before they expire. I get wanting to smell good for sure, but wowee, is this? I won't yuck your yum, but I'm speaking my opinion. You know what I mean?
We are getting played so hard. I just watched this Netflix documentary about overproduction and overconsumption, and this should literally be taught in school. What stood out to me most was this idea of planned obsolescence, that these corporations are literally giving us junk because they know we're going to have to buy it again, replace it, and they're not even allowing us the option to get it repaired. It's just so normalized, which makes it so sad. They use the example of AirPods because they have a battery in them that literally only lasts 18 months, maybe 24 months, and then it is designed to stop. There is no way that you can just open the case, put in a new battery, and move on with your day. Like, we are just so used to the cycle of buy, fail, buy, fail. Oh, and the fast fashion.
In my last video, I talked about a shoe company called Bata in my country where they had like thick, like strong quality shoes that they would sell, but then they had to stop making them because if you bought that shoe, you would literally like use it forever, and some people would actually like pass it down to like their siblings. So they had to stop making that, and then they started making like other shoes that were like, they were terrible. Like they would rip at the bottom. Like you had to buy at least even like two or like three pairs in like 3 years. Like every year you'd probably need to get a new pair of shoes. If we as a people just decided that, you know what, if you're not going to make good quality products, we're not going to buy them, then these companies would be forced. But because they know that whatever they give us, we're going to take it and we're going to buy, I think that's where the problem comes in. Because having to buy a phone every year, are you kidding me? A phone every year? Nah.
Of it all, like, I cannot stand fast fashion. We don't understand that, oh, you donate a bag of clothes because you're buying clothes every month, and where does it end up? We literally send it to third world countries for it to be their problem. I highly recommend watching this ahead of Black Friday and all the holidays coming up. My boyfriend and I, we put a 3 gift rule, which it breaks my heart, but it's true. Like, we don't need more shit.
Guys, I don't want to be like that apocalyptic person who's like, oh my gosh, the world is going to end, blah, blah, blah. But like the quality of life that we're going to have in the future, like I really think about it because these resources are finite. It's not like we'll have them forever. Like at some point, they're going to end. At some point, what's going to happen, you know? And the other day, I was watching a video of like this guy who was talking about how human beings would survive on other planets. And he talked about how quickly you would die if you went on a planet. And there were some planets that had like very toxic gases and all that stuff. And then in my mind, I was like, what if we destroyed all the other planets and Earth is the last one? Like maybe, like, I don't know, thousands and maybe even millions of years ago, like our ancestors like traveled from one planet to the other, and then they ended up destroying all these planets. Maybe even billions of years ago, they destroyed all these other planets, and now Earth is the last remaining planet. And if we destroy this one, then it's over. I don't know why I was thinking I don't know why I thought of that.
The fact that they used to make products that would just last forever. They would make products that would last years and years and years and years because the intention wasn't for the product to break so that the consumer would have to buy a new one every year. But now, of course, they make the product so that it breaks within a year. And then you have to take your ass and buy a new whatever the fuck it is. Planned obsolescence. But bitch, that's really crazy to me because why wouldn't you just want to make the product last forever? Like, just raise the price of the product if you're gonna have it be of better quality and last longer. But to purposely make something bad quality so that it deteriorates over a certain amount of time is insane to me. Y'all get money. So why are you making products that are going to break down over time? Bitch, make good products so that they don't have to be replaced. Like, they used to make shit that would last forever on purpose. Now they make shit that's going to break within a year on purpose. Goodbye.
It's better you raise the price and have, like, I don't know, a product that lasts forever. At least it can be passed down for, like, from parents to children. Because I remember my grandma had like a stove that was bought in the 19 somethings, I don't know, maybe even before my mom was born, and she had it till like 2018, 2019, somewhere there. Like, she had that stove for the longest time. That stove was freaking old. She was like, it was from Germany. It was like bought in like the olden days, and she had it like for years and years. It's probably the same age as my mom, if not even older than her. But then these days, if you look at a stove, like, we had bought a stove, I don't know, like 6 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, and the stove is already dead. It's already dead. It's been fixed multiple times, and I'm just like, why? These companies are just having us subscribe to buying stuff. Like, we're actually subscribed to buying clothes from Shein. We're subscribed to buying iPhones. We're subscribed because every year we have to renew our subscription. Think about it. And now let's have a conversation about shopping addiction and how it's a real thing. And I think for a lot of us, when we hear shopping addiction, it's like, oh my gosh, it's kind of cute. You laugh about it and all that stuff. But it actually is very serious and can have like really, really negative effects on your life.
I just found out today that people go to rehab because they have a shopping addiction. Like, legit go to rehab, check themselves in, live there for 30 days, all because they're addicted to shopping. I thought the addiction was just cute and not that big of a deal, but apparently not.
It is very big deal. It is very serious because it doesn't only affect one part of your life, but especially if you don't even have money to be buying stuff. It's the same thing with gambling. You have a gambling addiction. You spend money that you don't have. I think we just have to keep talking about this and having this conversation because this is very new, to especially the kids that are growing up right now. This is what they think is normal. We're balancing each other out. Some people are encouraging you to go buy some stuff and spend a lot of money, and some people are telling you, well, hold on, before you go buy some stuff, like, think about it. Think about the impact that you're going to have on not only your life, but like the environment in, like, I don't know, a couple 100 years or even 1,000 years. Like, how do you see this planet? How do you see your quality of life, So
I'm really enjoying this whole de-influencing thing, partially because I personally have a really bad spending problem, which is like embarrassing to admit, but it's true. I like buying new things. I like feeling like my life is aesthetic and on trend, and I like adding novelty to my life, which is fine. Like, it's fine to buy new things and it's fine to treat yourself every once in a while. But when overconsumption is like your coping mechanism, like it is mine, not only is that so bad for like your mental health and the planet and whatever, it's gonna make you so broke. And I know that from personal experience. So here's my take as a regular person on things that you simply do not need. Starting off with the worst offender, expensive body wash, in my opinion, there truly is like not a bigger waste of money. Why do you need this? It's body wash. Go to the drugstore, get like an Aveeno body wash. You'll be happy. Your skin will be happy. You do not have the money to be buying this. If you're like a regular person like me, it's body wash. Don't buy this. This might be controversial, but I do not think you need multiple sets of like fancy coordinated loungewear. Like Margaret Atwood has that quote about women being their own voyeurs, and it is about this. This is loungewear. It's what you wear at home. Like fine, have one nice set. You don't need multiple. It's what you're wearing at home. No one is seeing you wear this. If you're comfortable, then you're comfortable. And also, we as a society are like exiting the pandemic era. So if you're trying to have a job anytime soon, invest in clothing you could wear to an office, not in loungewear. You don't need it. You have tons of loungewear already. I guarantee it. We all do.
If you don't realize that you have a problem, you won't be able to solve it. And if you don't realize why you're doing what you're doing, you won't be able to solve that. So I think it's very important to just have awareness, build awareness, and understand that there are people that are trying to take advantage of you and make money off of you. So you just have to be very careful and very mindful. You know, you can support people that you love, whatever it is, but just be very mindful, because some of these companies are just awful. They're terrible.
If you have makeup that's like not expired and works for you, you do not need to buy new makeup. Use what you have. You do not need to be on top of the latest and greatest new products if you already have stuff that works. You do not need to try every like dupe that comes across your For You page and buy every single drugstore lipstick. You don't need that many lipsticks. You don't need this. If you have stuff that works, just use that. Buy new things when you need them. If you are buying an iPad in the hopes of becoming like an iPad girly who has her life together, buying an iPad will not be the thing that gets your life together. You do not need one. And if you are going to buy one, like I have an iPad that I use for like school readings and watching Netflix, and that's it. Like I don't actually need it. But if you are going to buy an iPad, if you're not doing like heavy duty creative work, don't get an iPad Pro. You don't need that. A regular iPad will do just fine, and it's like $500 cheaper. You don't need a Stanley Cup or any other trending water bottle. Like, you just don't. For something that's going to be out of trend in like 6 months, it's already way too expensive. But also, this is just a water bottle. Like, you can get a perfectly fine water bottle for under $25. It's just a water bottle.
I think the most important thing is for all of us to acknowledge the fact that we have something that we're drawn to, something that is our weakness. For some people, it's clothes. For some people, it's books. For some people, it's stationery. And for me, specifically, it's notebooks, journals, and even stationery. I have realized that those are some of the things that I tend to want to buy a lot. And a lot of the times I didn't buy because I didn't have the money. But now I'm having a little bit of money and I'm like having to remind myself, like, you don't need that. You don't need that. So I would love to know in the comments, what is your weakness? What thing do you find yourself buying too much of? And how are you going to try and not do that? And also, if you know someone who is overconsuming in a certain area of their life, like, share this video with them. Maybe they could also build awareness and try to make their life better, because it doesn't only improve your life financially or even just the environment, but it also improves your life mentally, because you then know what to prioritize in your life. You then realize what's really important, and you realize that material things will not bring you joy. They can bring you comfort and all that, but they will not bring you joy and peace and happiness. I think true happiness comes from knowing that you feel safe, and that safety comes from knowing that, oh, you have some money tucked away, and if anything happens, you have somewhere to touch, you know? So yeah, I would love to know in the comments what your weakness is. Mine is journals and stationery. Anyways, in my last video, I told people to put the monkey holding his mouth. But then when I went to the comments, when I was looking at my comments, I was like, why is there a monkey in my comments? I was like, what? Are these bots? Are these people trying to scam me? What's going on here? And then I sat there looking at it. Like, I looked at it for like 5 minutes. I was like, why are there so many monkeys in my comments? And I remembered I told people that you should put that monkey. So this time we're going to do a monkey covering its eyes. So if you've gotten this far into the video, make sure you put a monkey covering its eyes. Then I'll know you're a real one, you're loyal, you're smart. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.